YouTube friends, so once again we've got another unboxing and review video to go. Again, we've got this one from Toys Wonderland, not sponsored by them, it's just so happens that I had this on pre-order for a long time. I mean, if you go back in my old videos and find out when I done the Thanos one, that's basically when I pre-ordered this guy. I didn't realise it was going to be a pre-order. I thought that it in stock, but it wasn't. It was a pre-order. It's only just been released very recently. And yes, once again, I did have to remind them to send it out to us, because even though they said it had been shipped, I checked, it hadn't. I did have to get in touch with them and say, come on, where the hell's the figure? And it has been shipped. And it's getting here again in good time. You know, within literally, probably, I would say less than a week after this basically showed that it had shipped, I have it in hand, so I'm cool. The only thing I'm not so cool on is this time round the packaging they've used. Now, yes, once again they did beautifully put bubble wrap around it to try and protect it, but this thing they didn't put inside of another box. What they put inside of was this thin corrugated style bloody paper. For Toys Wonderland, you need to do fucking better, guys, because that ain't protected jack shit. That is so fucking soft that literally as soon as I picked it up, it was squishing in my fucking hand. So the fact is that the actual box of the item is slightly damaged. It's not massively thingy because I don't collect boxes. You know what I mean? I collect the fucking figures. My figures go out on display, as you can see behind us. Yeah, I don't collect the boxes, I don't display the boxes, so I'm not so fussed. It's just that it is a case of, well, you know, it deteriorates from the whole look and the whole perspective of when you get the item, it's brand new, and you want that sort of experience of just how good it is to open something brand new. This thing is slightly damaged because of the fact that you put it in a bloody corrugated piece of cord that is so thin, it's protected jack shit. So really, Toys Wonderland, you need to do better. You need to stop putting them in the boxes like you did the other one. Yeah, this box over here that this one came in, nice, it's thick, it's sturdy. Yeah, it could still be crushed. Yes, anything can be crushed if there's enough weight guns in it or it gets drop kicked. But at least it was better than this thin corrugated bit of cord. You know, that is just shite. It doesn't do fucking out. Anyway, you're here to see what the figure is, not to hear me whinge about that thing, so there you go. What we have is, I have looked forward to this one for a long time. This sort of is my day and age stuff. These are my sort of like heroes of the past, if you like. You know, you're watching your Rambos, your Rockies, your Matrix, John Matrix films with the Arnie and stuff like that, the Predator films, all them type of things, the 80s action movies, you know, Universal Soldier, all those type of things. These are my style characters, you know, and I loved First Blood. So to get this one was a must. Now, as you can see on the front cover here, it has got like sort of an embossed thingy saying, they drew First Blood, not me. Yeah, iconic line in there. So I think that's pretty cool that they've got that on there. You do have like a little window thing that opens up to see obviously the figure, and again this has something written inside of it. It says stop here or I'll show you the incredible war. Now that to me was never in a fucking movie. I think it's something, I'll show you a war I'll give you a war you'll never forget, or something like that. So that's where that's come from. I fucking do not know. That isn't in the fucking movie unless they changed it for UK fucking viewing or something like that, which I doubt they fucking did. So that's a bit of a silly one, but never mind. And so I guess you're wondering sort of where the sort of damage is incurred. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but at the top here, it's been sort of like caved in a little bit. So therefore the top end of there is dunched in a bit. This side has been crushed in a little bit. So that's where sort of most of the damage is. You've even got something there on the back. You dominate the town, I am king in the mountains. Yeah, I can't really remember that one being something that's thingy, but something similar was probably said, but I don't recall it being that exact words. But anyway, let's get this thing out of here. Now I've decided to start doing videos more like this. I was originally doing them inside of a light box and trying to do it more professional, and I thought, because that's obviously where a lot of people were doing it, and I thought, well, that's maybe the way people do it, that's the way it should be done in order to make it look presentable and clean. Then I thought, well, you know what it is, when people are open, and when every sort of, if I was to be opening it and not have a YouTube channel and doing the thingy, I'll be opening it the same way as everybody else normally does, which is just to have it on your friggin' lap, open it up and just enjoy that moment. So I thought, well, this is how I'm going to try and do it and see if this is something that is more appreciated by a lot of people that see me doing it the same way as most others would do it. Yeah. So let's get this. So this is by basically threezero, which I actually thought was a So Toys one, but this is threezero. So there you go. It's a 1/6 figure. I don't know why you've got a little. Well, that's because it must have been the warranty sheet was in there, and also a thing here on basically how to put the Poncho style stuff on. Also has some other instructions here, so it's pretty neat. You a bunch of instructions. That's probably what was inside the bag itself. And inside of a sort of double clamshell. So get this top one off first and show you some of the sort of accessories you get. You get a bunch of wrist pegs, which is cool. Kind of big as well, these ones, compared to what I can remember others being like, but that's cool anyway. You have your sets of hands here. Yeah, just need to try what do I want to? Yeah, you can see some nice sort of detail into them. If I'm getting too close, you're not getting a good enough light source on there. You get a bunch of hands, gun trigger hand. And it looks like it's sort of probably possibly for holding his knife maybe. Again with that trigger holding hand on the other side. And an open hand. I'm hoping he's got two-fisted hands that's on there, because obviously you want a bit of sort of fist, you got to get open hand. Again, I'm looking at these things myself. I should have put my glasses on, but I haven't got a pair of glasses up here in this man cave yet. But by the looks of it, there is a lot of detail to the hands, and you can see sort of the spindle bits coming down the bones from here. So that's pretty good. I don't know how well you might be able to make it out. So you can basically just about, if I come myself that way, you can see there, there's a lot of detail goes into the hands. So you've got basically a number of hands there, and a couple of guns and his knife on the top. Now don't expect me to know the names of these guns, because I'm not American, right? So I'm not going to know these names of these guns. But there's the first one. And I don't know if that was something like an M60 or something like M60, something like that. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know the names of the guns. So the bit there to hold on to is sort of quite fragile feeling. It does move around, but it feels really sort of fragile, like that would snap out at any point. So I think not. I wouldn't really want to put that in his hand. This thing bit here does not move like what it would probably on a Hot Toys version of something. The sight does go up and down. That bit will go up and down. You do have movement, or do you? Do you have movement on there? I don't think they've got sort of slight movement on it, but I don't think they're actually supposed to come right down. I don't know if they've just tightened up things, the screws too tight, or what, or whether they've just put them like that because people really aren't going to put the damn things down. But they are sort of very tightly in place. But it is sort of, it's a nice enough looking one. It's third party. You don't expect it to be absolutely amazingly fantastic, but it's a decent enough job. it looks okay. I'm sorry you kind of get the finer details that you might do on sort of other channels and that, but like I'm in a bedroom, I've got natural light coming through, I've got the light above us coming through. I haven't bothered putting the detolf light, the detolf, you know, they're not even detolfs, the homemade cabinets lights on. But there you go, that's the first one. The second one, I think these are M16 assault rifles. So yeah, again, not highly detailed. There is a little bit of sort of dry brushing going on. Oh, it looks like the thing does come out, and it does have, you can't see it, it does have the actual things in the top there, the bullets in the top. So that's kind of cool. Again, it's a little bit on the loose side, you know, but it is staying in. So as long as you're not messing around too much with it, it is going to stay in. You don't really have any other moving bits and pieces to it, so which is all fine and good, because he's a piece of plastic. He's not gonna fucking move the things around, and he's not gonna shoot the fucking gun. This ain't fucking Toy Story, right? He's not moving when I'm not in the fucking room, so he doesn't need all moving parts, right? He can, but it is a decent enough gun. I've got no idea which gun I'm gonna have him with, or whether I'm even gonna have him with one of these guns. I honestly don't know. He does come with his knife, which is plastic, you know, very sharp on the very tip, so you know you'd have to be careful. The serrated edge is fine. It's not really going to cut anything. It's that edge is sort of slightly sharp, but it still really isn't going to cut anything. It's just the very tip of it that could puncture if enough pressure is applied. Yeah. The actual top of it does come out. Don't think it actually has a thing on it, but like I say, I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't really see that well. I don't think it does, but it's nice that you could put that in his. Then again, I don't know if you even got a hand that it would fit in, but it's still a nice touch that it comes out like you would have done in the movies. You did take it out in the movies to have a look at the compass that was on there. So it is a nice touch that they did make a removable end piece, so you could have it as holding a bit of a compass. And like I say, the knife itself is decent enough, did its job. We'll go to the character last as per usual. So what I'm going to do next is get the next sort of layer opened up, which seems to be a lot of bits of weaponry and bullets. Let's see what we've got here. I think there, that's the wire that he would have tied around his sort of poncho style thing that he made. So they actually have given you like a piece what feels like wire. Don't think it is actually wire as such, but it does have that feel of wire. So that's kind of cool that they've put anything there which you can tie around it and make it look like it did in the movies. That's a nice touch. I like that. Yeah. We have the thing that he put his knife into to make it into a spear for when he was out. I don't know how well that knife will go in. If you give it a hard shove down, it will go into that thingy. I just don't want to shove it right in it and find out I can't get the damn thing back really that easy. But yes, it will go into there and have it as the thingy when he sort of speared the, I think it was a boar or something, if I remember rightly, when he speared the boar. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you get that sort of thing, and it does actually look. It actually resembles more of a stick than a branch, to be perfectly honest with you. But it still, again, it does the friggin' trick, and it looks real, like a real piece of wood. Yeah, that's sort of a good thing, but it does look like a real piece of wood. So I'm happy with that. You know, that's cool. It's probably an accessory that more than likely won't use unless I'm sort of doing some sort of photography style thing, which isn't really my big thing at the minute. I'm just not spending much time doing the photography side of things at the minute. But it is cool that you do get it, you know, and I think that is a nice sort of, a nice touch for those that do a lot of their photography, to have that in there. Then you do have a number of these sort of branded ears, I think would be probably possibly called, with the bullets on them, because I do know he obviously had things, but you actually get a number of these, and I can't remember them having this many on them. But you obviously probably did. It's just I don't recall, because it's been a while since I've watched the film again. Yeah, even though I've got it, I did buy it on DVD because it's like one of those sort of iconic movies to me, and I did watch it sort of a few months ago. So I don't know, he did have a couple of these over the top of himself. I just can't remember how many, because he did get like basically 1, 2, 3, 4 of these style. Yeah. And you get one that would be basically, I think by the looks of it, able to push into here. I'm hoping it comes into there. Yeah, it does. So, not particularly in that thing here, hang on, that way there. So you could push it into there, have it wrapped around his arm like he did in the movie. And it does have the bullets going in to the actual gun itself. So that's, yeah, it's a nice touch as well, that you can obviously wrap that around his arm that's holding this part, yeah. So cool. And then of course you have the dirty bit of rag that he uses the poncho. Yeah, and I do like the way they've sort of made it dirty and ripped and just look very similar to the, don't think it's the same type of material, and it does friggin' stink as well. Like, I must admit, this is, it does have a stench to it of almost like dieselish thing, you know. So it's weird. It's certainly weird how that thing you do it, but it looks brilliant, you know. You see, it looks weathered, it looks old, it looks beaten, it's ripped, it's torn, it's battered a bit. It's literally just fucking cool. That's what that is. It's fucking cool. You know, I don't know which way around I would have it on them. Possibly like that to the front, so you got a bit rip coming through the fucking front of it, and that, because obviously in the back you're not really going to see it so much. But that is cool. I do like that, you know. I do like the fact that it's worn and tore and smelly and literally sort of burnt, and just looks the part. It looks the part. Anyway, guys, let's get on to the actual figure himself, because there's a lot of people sort of complained on one of the figures that the actual arms look terrible. So you can see I'm just trying to get the bits of bloody plastic off this guy. So he's got a plastic on his head as well, so I'm going to have to take his head off in order to get this plastic off. I'm always frightened about doing that, you know, taking the heads off things, just in case you bloody knacker something or bloody damage something, you know. But in this case of bloody trying to pop them back on as well, I'm always worried, especially with this type of body, because the neck itself seems to be able to be pushed in, and I need, you know, do I have to use something to, yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me 2 seconds, guys, because I'm gonna have to like basically get something to try and cut the things off of here. So I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, so we'll have all the plastic off now. So one of the things that was concerning about some of the Rambos that I've seen in the past was that they had an elbow joint to them, which was, when you bent his arm, it was very, very much visible. This one has seamless arms. Now again, this is a sort of a slight concern with some of them. This one isn't sort of the facing style ones. It does have ratcheted arms, but it's basically, when you bend it, it bends right up it, and you can see there, see how it's flicking itself back down? So you get it right up to there, but it will flick itself back down. And then you've got that sort of slightly unsightly thing to that. And I would worry about the stress that you cause back here. So I wouldn't have it bent in that type of position for too long before straightening it back out. You see it's ratcheted, so that's pretty good. Yeah, the size of the body is good. It's still, it has this sort of smell to it as well, like he's been out I think, which just seems weird because you think to yourself, well, surely it would have a new toy smell. They wouldn't want to make it smell bloody apple, but it has got that smell like it's been out, like it's been sort of. He's literally been in the woods and he's been fucking living off the land and he's been trying to do what he's doing. The actual t-shirt itself is amazing. Yeah, it's sort of grimy, it's dirty, it's off grey colour to it. You know, there's loads of different sort of. You can see it. It's on here. This isn't going to do it justice, you know. And I don't think so. I'll no doubt you'll have noticed the different camera angle. Hopefully, the quality itself you might not notice, but there might be a dip in quality because I've had to revert to a different camera. I'll tell you one thing, guys. Honestly, don't buy the Samsung S21 because they're shit. They really are. When you're doing a video, they're great. They've freaking got an amazing quality to them, an amazing thing like most of the Samsungs have. It's just the overheat within literally less than 10 minutes. I mean, it's just crazy how fucking fast they overheat. Samsung, you need to fucking get your act together because that is shit. That really is. I mean, I shouldn't have to be fucking doing it on an older Samsung to think it. I'll probably end up looking for a new phone at some point because that's just terrible. But anyway, what we're talking about, guys, you can see better here from this angle because I've got the actual window behind us so you get natural light onto them. What I meant by the dirtiness of them, you know, the colours in his shirt and everything, the thing to his pants where they're scruffy, they're filthy, they're just full of grime and dirt and everything else. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing the amount of detail that's gone into it, you know. His boots look a bit cleaner, but still damn good, you know. But it's just the dirt and the grime on his pants and on his shirt and on his arms. His arms are filthy and just look. But again, look at the details to them, you know. It's incredible. I'm just trying to have a look, you know, if this thingy comes up a bit to see if he's got any of the scars on his chest and what have you, like he would have had from the movie or across his back. I don't actually see anything major. There is a few sort of smallish looking things to him. I don't know if you're going to be able to make any, but I mean the musculature on his back and everything's thingy, but there is sort of that I can see the odd sort of red line going across as if to represent that it's a wound that he's had. You can see he should have had a massive one across his shoulder. Oh, they actually have, guys. This is cool. This is actually cool. He has got the markings. I'm sure he had a massive one across his chest. That doesn't seem to be there, but he does. If we can get this up to show you. See? On his chest, he does have cuts and scars and stuff. And again, the level of detail to the sort of sculpture of his body looks fantastic. So he does have the scarring and everything there, which is good that they've represented that. Yeah. Now, the head sculpt, guys. This head sculpt, to me, is absolutely brilliant. Compared to some I've seen, you know, trying to do Sylvester Stallone, seems to be fairly hard to do by the looks of it for the ones that I've seen. So this, for not being Hot Toys, which Hot Toys normally are sort of some of the best sculpts you can get, I think this is damn good. Yeah, I really do. You can't, it's not exactly thinking in too well, which is a bit of a shame. You know, take my word for it, guys. I'll see if I can thing it in post-production and get it better looking for you. But that, to me, is actually a really good head sculpt. The fact that he's got, you can see the dirt and the grime and the blood coming down his side of his face. The fact that they've still got the thingy that he wore to protect the thing his head when he got his cut, you know, and the fact that it actually is going under the hairline. You know, they've sort of made the hairline so it goes under the hairline. It doesn't come off by the looks of it, or it's not meant to come off. I'm not going to pull on it too hard. But that, to me, is like a really, really good head sculpt. I'm not going to say 10 out of 10 out there because it's everything can be done slightly better, but that is a really damned good one of his. Yeah. The neck, like I was saying, you can see it's like very, very soft material around there. His sort of body itself has the musculature built into it, which is fantastic. It does look a really good sculpt of the thing. You do have a break round at the shoulders there, which obviously with this on is visible. Which obviously gives you think this is here ratcheted up to there. So that's cool. You've got the ratchet system on there. The head bends forward to there, bends back quite a way. It does have the tilt, full range of motion there, guys. That's pretty cool. When you move it, as you can see, it raises the thing away from the shoulder, so you then don't have to obviously faff around with that. Sometimes you make sure the pose has something where it's taken away from that. But I mean, how often are you going to have him basically trying to really bend his head that far out? I mean, come on, it's not going to happen, is it? But it is really good head sculpt, really good thingy. It's here, pretty decent enough range of motion on ratchet joints that way. Yeah, can go basically all the way around, all the way back that way. You can see a ratcheted elbow joint, and of course, yeah, normal 1/6 scale peg, which will give you enough range of motion on it, which is good. Torso wise, you can snap it off, so be freaking careful, guys. See, this is me just showing you now that you need to be careful about stuff because you don't want to break them. So yeah, and that's it. So going forward, going back, obviously you can see where it's in two separate parts. So obviously you can see just putting the t-shirt, tuck it into his pants, and then you won't be able to see that. Leg coming forward, it's not a great huge range of motion, but they never really are. Going backwards, again, you're not getting anything much at all. Out the side, that's pretty much it. It's not ratcheted, so therefore I'd be, oh, just fucking thingy as well, dropped off. Not a good sign. I want to put everything back in. And the worst thing with these ones is that these peg joints, you can see, don't have like the normal sort of bulbous bit at the top, which then sort of plugs in. So that's why you can get these ones. They're a lot sort of easier to pop out. And again, because the arm isn't a soft thingy, and inside there is your joint there, so you need to be able to make sure you find that joint when you put it in order to get it back in, otherwise it's just not going to sit in properly, and you need to push it hard enough up. Yeah, so you can see like the arm itself. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. You can pinch the sort of thingy around the arm to make it sort of move and thingy around. So do be careful, guys. You know, you've seen now how literally I can snap them off. And luckily it is meant to be like that. It can be done like that. You've got a double bend there, again not ratcheted, so the boot is all one boot, so you're basically going to get, but you actually still buy, look at that, you're still getting a range of motion, though the boot now looks a bit silly, but again, you pull the pants down over it and you're not really going to be able to tell. Yeah, so you're getting a sort of enough of a range of motion. It's decent enough. Yeah, it's decent compared to the fact that it is a full boot, but it's a soft enough material to allow it to move, so that's cool. I just literally, for me, it's the thing of getting over just how dirty and grimy and greasy and thingy there it looks, and it's just, it suits this thing down to the ground. It makes it, like, literally to me a fantastic figure if you love Rambo from First Blood. Yeah, and you do have a number of pros and options to have him like this with one of his guns as if he's going into town. And yes, they are two sort of fisted hands, so you know that is good. So you could have him literally with, I think, is it, I don't know, I can see, I don't know my guns, M60 or his M16, his knife, his poncho on. Yeah, so you've got a number of different things that you could do with this thing, posing wise. And I do look at this guy and go, wow, this is pretty damn good. You know, the head sculpt is good. Yeah, he looks determined. You know, so it's not like it's a totally neutral blank expression. He looks determined. He looks like he's like in that sort of a slightly aggressive manner, to as if he's got something on his mind and he's going for it. So that's good. I like that. Yeah, and the figure overall, I do think looks brilliant. Yeah, the main concern would be bending these too much to get too much of an actual thing on there, but they're not the same as the facing body. The facing body would, if you have it bent too long, would literally tear apart across here. This is a different style of material. This isn't a facing style body, so therefore it might not be quite as bad, but I still wouldn't want to have it bent too much because it still looks kind of strange. It's not like sort of exactly how your own skin would go. And just that back part right here, you know, it would be putting a lot of pressure. But you can't, I mean, literally you can get right the way up to here, right? But you can see straight away how it's sort of bounced back down again. It's ratcheted back down one because there's that much pressure being applied. As soon as you put any sort of thing into it, it's just literally flicking back, and that's about where it sort of naturally will stay without it just, because it is so, you can see how easy it is to move that ratchet down, just a fingertip touch, so you get anything heavy in that, and then it's going to weight back down again. But other than that, guys, that I'm pretty pleased with. You know, I think that looks pretty damn good. You can see the sculpture of the muscle in his back and in his chest, his arms is spot on. It looks cool. You know, the damage to it looks great. I'm impressed. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for a second, sort of for a third party one, that is cool. And I do like the fact, again, you see that you don't have that really bad thingy just here where you can see it. You know, some of the Rambo figures that I've seen out there, I do like the fact that it's not like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to put the poncho on him, see what he looks like with his poncho on, and then we'll call it a day. And there you go, guys. This is probably how I'm going to have him, because this to me was probably some of the most iconic bits in the movie for me. I've got plenty of characters holding guns and stuff like that, you know. This to me, when he had his knife and he just put this poncho on and what have you, that was probably one of the most sort of iconic to me. You know, if I'm going to do some sort of pose thing at some point and then take some pictures of him, then yeah, maybe I'll get out his guns and wrap the gun around his hand, because I do know that the sort of the fight scene when he was basically in the middle of town again is another one that people remember. What I would like to have done actually would have been sort of get myself another character and basically dress him up so that I could have him sort of held up against the thingy with the knife through his throat, like what he did during the movie. That would be sort of nice sort of thingy to do. But this, guys, I'm well happy with this. You know, I just hope that the joints and what have you sort of hold up over time, because obviously, you know, with me, I tend not to use the actual things to stand them on unless I've got to. I don't like using them. Plus, to be perfectly honest with you, with this thing, you don't get one. You know what I mean? This is one of the things that are missing from these particular third-party ones, is that these don't give you the actual stand. So you've got to hope that the actual ankle joints and what have you manage to stand the test of time. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy your own to think it, you know. But this I do think is absolutely wonderful, you know. it is to me. It's fantastic. It just reminds me so much of the movie. It makes me want to go and sit and watch it again. You know what I mean? It is fantastic. Having his knife in his hand, and it's just, to me, this is brilliant. I really do like this. I do like this, guys. You know, that is a nice thing, and it's just a case of now, where do I put it? I mean, I've got a space there to start putting some of my 80s action figures into. Maybe have them going across the whole top row on the other side there. I am having a few issues now with some of the figures actually standing, starting to fall over. I don't believe in ghosts, but there's times when I just think to myself, right, how could you fall over? There's nothing in here that can make you fall over. It's not like the man cave downstairs where you walk in, you walk on the thing and it bounces and it can knock them over. This is a lot more stable, yet I've still got a lot of my characters falling over. You know what I mean? It's like, I think if you look in there, you can see, is it there? Princess Leia's fell over. Yeah, so I've got to literally go into that one and pick the Princess Leia over. I've literally, see if I can think this around. Up there should be another Predator, but he's now literally down there. He's just literally fell off before when I was doing this video. And another one of my Predators in there, he's just fell over as well. So it's like a case of what the hell's going on in here. But anyway, guys, enough of me ranting and raving about that type of crap, you know what I mean, and giving you the ghostly stories of what's going on in that red room. But for this, guys, this, which is again, I'll have to reread it again, 3-0, that was one. This being a 3-0 third party figure, I think this is brilliant. I really do. I love this thing. I think it's going to sort of stand up there and look so friggin' cool. Yeah, it's got plenty of range of motion on them, so you can pose them up really well. Yeah, I think it just looks fantastic, you know. So, guys, thanks very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Please, you know, stick around. I've got more to come. Again, they're all going to be from T-Dubs at the minute because they've had a massive sale on. This is a pre-order. I've got another pre-order on the way, and I've got, I think, one more pre-order waiting to come in. Well, guys, thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is the Bearded Nerdy Oaf. I'm going to go and find a place for this guy on the shelf and pose him up a little bit. I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.